How's it, folks? I may be a little late with this, but I wanted to make my own version with the recent changes to New Game Plus in DL2 after the recent patch 1.14. The main reason to start at New Game Plus would be to pick up all the weapon blueprints and collectibles you missed out previously, and if it's your first one, then you also have the opportunity to collect 30 more inhibitors to max out your stamina and health. You will also be given the opportunity to replay missions as well as play through different missions that you were locked out of based on either the choices you made through the story or by not realizing they were timed missions you needed to complete before carrying on with the main story. For example, in order to get the Cyber Hands blueprint, you need to meet with the Liquidator before starting the Veronica main story, otherwise he won't spawn. And you are only able to get the Sawblade blueprints in a New Game Plus save, and they are probably the strongest weapon you can get in the game without doing any glitches. If you haven't gotten them for yourselves yet, then check out this quick video. And with the recent patch, you are now able to carry over your Night Runner tools with whatever level you have upgraded them to when starting a New Game Plus. So if you have a level 3 paraglider, when you start a New Game Plus, you will still keep your level 3 paraglider. The only caveat being that you may not use certain tools during some of the earlier story missions, but they will return when the mission is over and you carry on free roaming. You also get the Night Runner broadcast tool that allows you to see where the inhibitors are when you attach them to the radio antennas, but you can't actually interact with radio antennas until you have completed the broadcast main mission, so there's no real point in having that Night Runner tool in New Game Plus anyway, but it might just come as a package deal with the rest of them. On top of that, you also get to keep all weapons, gold, resources, crafting supplies, gear, collectibles, levels, perks, skills, and ammunition, as well as all the items in your stash carry over as well. So you don't have to worry about leaving your favorite weapons or all the trophies you farmed behind. Even things like event-specific loot carries over, and tokens and ranks for the bounty agents carry over as well. What also surprised me is when I started a recent New Game Plus is that the PK crossbow will now also carry over into your stash, so you should be able to fully side with the survivors for the bonus parkour aids without losing out on your PK crossbow. I'm not certain on which patch they allowed the PK crossbow to carry over, because I remember when New Game Plus first started out, the PK crossbow kind of disappeared when you started in New Game Plus. So it's nice to see that that was also added in on the carryovers. And then, of course, there are the new platinum ranked goals to achieve for the various challenges scattered around Villador. And if you manage to complete them on a Thursday with the bonus LP and during the night, you'll earn significantly more legend points than if you had otherwise completed it during any other day of the week and during the day. So maybe try and take advantage of that extra OP if you're still trying to rank up your legend points. And finally, the golden encounters from the renegades and the golden infected encounters at night that would show up after completing the main story in your first playthrough will now be present and fairly common sight in a New Game Plus playthrough right from the beginning. So if you're trying to get better gear, either better weapons or better armor, keep an eye out for those orange encounters. The Renegade Day encounters generally have decent armor spawning in the chests that you have to unlock, whereas the infected orange encounters often have decent weapons spawning on them now, and with the latest patch you can also get the new nocturnal weapons from those orange zombie encounters as well. And then the blueprints you upgraded at the Craft Master will retain their level, and if you earn the same blueprint by replaying a mission in New Game Plus, you will keep the higher level blueprint, and thankfully your crafting menu won't get bogged down with duplicates. Having said that though, if you replay the Bloody Tars DLC, then your inventory and stash will soon start overflowing with fedoras. Even though Techland gave us the opportunity to dismantle the Carnage Manica and gave us a blueprint for it, they won't let us dismantle Chihiro's hats. So we will probably need to wait for a future update for that to be possible. Speaking of headwear, the reward you get from completing the main story in a New Game Plus save is a renegade looking mask that offers 15% damage resistance against infected and human enemies. On the other end of the scale, there is a fair amount of stuff that will get reset, though that mainly will fall under map exploration. Safe zones, windmills, electrical stations, water towers and radio antennas will all need to be rediscovered and activated again. You will also need to rediscover the points of interest, and the metro tunnels will only be available after the old Villador main story quest. And then of course all the quest progress will be reset. The daily and weekly bounties as well as the agent bounties progress will be reset as well, but you will still keep the agent's rank. But it may be best to complete their bounties before starting a New Game Plus, as otherwise you'll need to wait until after completing the old Villador story and meeting them again before you can accept new bounties from them. And if you are close to completing a bounty crate, then maybe wait another day or two to complete those daily bounties if you don't want to start from scratch. The Bandit Camps also get reset. You will need to reconquer the one in Old Villador as part of the main story before you can move on to the central loop. The other three, I would actually recommend not fully conquering them. It's kind of nice to have dedicated places where you know bandits will spawn for when you need to do renegade bounties, whether that's killing the two-handed renegades or the infected renegades, or even just killing a certain amount of renegades as part of the bounties. It also may be confirmation bias, but I have noticed a couple more of the random encounters involving you having to rescue a survivor or PK from the renegades, which earns you a bit of extra legend points when you complete them, as opposed to things like the chests they set up as a trap to ambush you with, or the hag tracks that you can inspect for a bit of mutation samples, but completing them don't reward you with the legend points. So if you're trying to level up quicker, maybe leave the Bandit Camps empty for those legend point encounters. And then one of the main reasons I wanted to bring up this video was the 7 or so weapon blueprints you could miss out on during a playthrough. Bear in mind there may be some slight spoilers, as I mentioned the quest associated with these weapon blueprints that you'll want to keep an eye out for. Starting off with the plumber's hammer that you get from talking to the guy accused of selling poisoned water in the bazaar. This will disappear after doing the main quest called Water Tower. The weapon blueprint is part of the quest reward, so you don't have to go searching for it. Next is the engine bludgeon that you'll get from Dodger's quest called The Ball is in Your Court, and you can miss it by starting either the main quest Revolution or Into the Dark, depending on whether you sided with the survivors or the PKs. Once again, this is a quest reward, so you don't have to go searching for that blueprint. Next is the bolted bludgeon from the raid main quest, but you will need to enter and meet with Sophie when you go into their hideout to get this one, as you will miss out on it if you instead walk away and head off towards the PKs. You can get the reinforced stick blueprint from the quest Into the Dark by giving the water tower to the PKs and fighting Barney. On the other end of the scale, you can get the gun hammer weapon blueprint from the main quest Revolution by giving the water tower to the survivors instead. You can miss out on the bomber weapon blueprint if you don't talk to the carrier in the PK Metro base in Old Villador before moving to the central loop. This will lock you out of the carrier's questline, which now also rewards players with 2 new outfits as well. And then finally, you can also get the Ice Pick claws by completing the main quest Spa game that you can get by siding with Juan during the Welcome on Board quest and giving him the transmitter during the broadcast main quest. It should happen right after that kind of weird shoe mission with Loan and right before the Veronica main quest mission starts. So you can see that you may need to side with a faction that you didn't side with in your first playthrough if you want all the weapon blueprints that are available without diving into the download store and its microtransactions. And then of course there are a whole bunch of weapon blueprints from other quest rewards or by free roaming. But those shouldn't be mutually exclusive quest rewards, and you should be possible to return to those locations whenever you feel like it. If you're missing out on a few weapon blueprints that are available while free roaming, then this video should have you covered. There are also a few collectibles that are only available while playing the quests, which is worth picking up if you replay the missions. Some of them, like Quartermaster Park's mementos, can be picked up by returning to the quest location later, but others, like Avery's map, needs to be picked up in the quest or else you'll miss out on them. So to start off with, the Carrier's questline have 2 collectibles called Tape number 28, the City Classifieds, the Cable Guy, and Memento number 12, the Carrier's Guild Assault. And as I mentioned earlier, you can miss out on the entire questline by not speaking to the carrier in the PK Metro base. Next is Avery's map, which you can get in the side quest called To Kill or Not to Kill, that you can pick up after the main quest A Place to Call Home. Some people seem to have an issue with this quest spawning, and I'm not certain if that has been fixed yet. And then during the broadcast main quest, you can pick up Memento number 57, called Chris's Dog Tag, and then during the Now or Never main quest you can pick up tape number 61, Waltz's Chamber Recording number 1, tape number 62, Waltz's Chamber Recording number 2, tape number 63, Waltz's Chamber Recording number 3, and then just before the final main quest, X13, you can pick up tape 46, The Journal of a Night Runner number 6, as it becomes inaccessible after completing the main quest X13. And that should be all the collectibles that need to be picked up during their missions. And lastly, one final bonus I would consider for starting a New Game Plus is giving yourself some self-imposed challenges or rules to play through the rest of the story through. Like maybe you're only allowed to play during nighttime, so got to either be very sneaky or get used to running away from the zombies. Maybe not allowed to use any weapons, so you can only drop kick or run away or rely on traps or something like that. Or even something like in my latest playthrough, where if I ever died, I had to drop everything that was in my inventory. So if I wanted to keep something, I had to make it back to somewhere where there was a stash to store the item. And I had to weigh up the pros and cons of using a really good weapon or not, depending on whether I wanted to risk losing it if something went haywire. Other than that, if I have left out anything important, please let me know in the comment section down below. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care and cheers for now.